so now we just came in from chores and it's getting to be about that time, and that time is dinner time. So our plan for tonight is we're gonna make gourmet brats. I know it sounds kind of like, ooh, you're making brats, so what, so what? But the way we kind of doctor these up and make them, it's kind of an easy hit and it tastes great and it's a nice satisfying meal. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get right into it here. I'm gonna turn on my cast iron. We actually went ahead and got rid of all of our non-stick stuff. All we use now is well-seasoned cast iron pans. And the cooking with these is far and beyond anything that you can actually buy pans from the store with. So we don't want any of that Teflon coating, nothing like that, just cast iron for us. So we're gonna look at it and just get this heat kind of going about medium-ish, okay? We're gonna use some avocado oil. Just put a couple tablespoons in there. Let that get going, and then we're gonna go ahead and we're going to saute our onions so they're kind of nice and translucent and caramelized, and we'll be back. Okay, so now it's looking like our onions are kind of getting to where we want them to be. They're starting to get translucent, a little bit of browning, and getting kind of nice and caramelized. Here we're gonna add our brats. I did wash my hands, everything's all good with that. Just lay those in like so. And these are cranberry wild rice brats made from our own pork on the farm here. If you have to, with that cast iron gets kind of hot, you can kind of turn down the heat here a little bit. So now we're going to actually brown these on both sides. And when that's complete, we'll get back at it. Okay, well, our bread that we've made for our brat dinner tonight is ready. I'm going to go ahead and remove those from the oven. Oh, they look great. Homemade, fermented French rolls. Very nice. And with these, I'm just going to put a little bit of butter on top so they kind of have a nice, soft texture for when we go to use those for our sandwiches. Oh, does that look good? Smells great. We make all of our own breads. We do not buy any breads from the store. Clean, organic ingredients. Making a little bit of a mess here. That's okay. That's all part of the process, right? Perfect. Looks great. We'll let those kind of set and do their thing while our brats finish cooking here. Okay, so now we've still got them on the same side. They're just kind of starting to get brown on the underside here. I'll go ahead and maybe just rotate them again. Let that other side start cooking. Like so, I'm going to turn on my heat a little bit more. I'm incorporating those onions. Very good. So we'll keep kind of letting those brown here after a while. And then we'll show you what we're going to do with this nice little can of a very intense hot dish. We don't like this kind of sear, so we kind of use it just to cook this specific meal actually. Okay, now that our brats are kind of got a nice little brown to them here and they're stirred in with that good onion goodness, we are going to add our can of beer. And depending on to add the whole thing, but stand back just in case you get a little bit funny here. It's going to turn into a nice foam. Nice. So now what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and put that lid on and just let it cook on low and simmer down for a little bit. And then they're just going to finish cooking right in here. Okay, so here's a little update on how our beer is doing in with our brats. Oh, that looks great. So as you can kind of see, the beer is kind of like cooking out, evaporating out. It almost smells kind of like a brewery in here, but after time, that'll keep precipitating and they'll just keep cooking. If you want, you can go in and kind of maybe turn them in there again, but you don't really have to. Okay, so I think our brats have come to their final destination of being done. So let's go ahead and take a peek, see what they look like. I'm gonna grab some mitt here, like the top of that pan is warm. Watch over the steam. So as you can see, those caramelized onions, they really caramelized nicely in there. Most of the beer has kind of had a chance to leave. They kind of browned again just a little bit. And these look great. Nice. Perfect. I turned off the heat. We're just going to let these kind of hang out and sit while I kind of get the rest of our sandwich supplies ready to go. Okay, so now here I've kind of removed those brats from our pan, and I'm just going to fillet them open to get them ready for our sandwiches, because we're going to kind of do an open-faced sandwich. Okay. You know, I see those cranberry and wild rice pieces in there. It's going to be pretty delectable. A fun little change on brats. So you can kind of see, look how neat that looks. Nice and juicy. The cool thing about when you cook it in there with the beer and you steam it, it gets kind of, sometimes that casing on that brat, it can be kind of like tough to chew through. This is just cuts right through and really nice. You're not going to have a chewy, weird brat. It's just a little baby guy that I will kind of distribute through our sandwiches. Nice. So now that I have those in half, I'm going to go ahead and bring my cheese over here where my sandwiches are. And I'm just going to lay some cheese on each one, and we're going to broil this in the oven. Once those come out, we're going to lay those half of brats on top of these. And here we have a really yummy Havarti cheese. Do a really nice high quality melting cheese, and you'll definitely enjoy that. Awesome. So there we go. We'll put this in the oven, and then we'll be back and I'll keep assembling these sandwiches. So our cheese and our bread has kind of had some time to sort of get a little bit toasted and crispy. You don't have to stick it for your cheese. Oh, see, we almost had a guy leave us. There we go. Perfect. So now we got a nice little toast on that bread once again, fresh out of the oven, and our cheese is nice and melted. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to kind of apply our one brat to each, and then I kind of divvy it up for the rest. It'll be easier said than done. We'll be a different guy. Look how nice and easy that is. Isn't it nice? There we go. Okay, so now our next step is we're going to put a little bit of Thousand Island just to kind of get that marinated with our brats. This is Thousand Island that we made in our homemade mayo recipe that I made from. Don't have to put a bunch, but just like enough to get kind of this dressing in there. Oops, and I just made a large mess. But that's not cooking right if you're not making a mess. Perfect. Now we're going to go ahead and put our sauerkraut. We actually fermented this and put this in our fridge. This is from our own farm here. So it's all full of yummy probiotics. And it's purple, so we made it out of purple cabbage. Drain some of that juice out just to help with the sogginess. Nice. And this is something then where we're going to put this back into the oven and let everything kind of warm up. It works good if like your sauerkraut is already cold from the fridge. I recommend kind of like getting it warm. Otherwise you're going to have to cook it longer to get everything in to kind of congeal. But it'll work out just fine. Nice.
Oh.
The finishing topping is one more thing of cheese on top. You can see how this is starting to get kind of a little bit delectable. And then we're going to put these back in the oven to get everything nice and warm. And then we're going to serve it up and eat it. Okay, so our dinner is finito. And how delicious does a simple gourmet brat look? Look at that. We got our saucy, we got cheesy, we got our tangy sauerkraut, we got our cranberry wild rice brats. I was just thinking, and actually the only thing that we didn't make on this here plate is the cheese, the Havarti cheese. So everything here was made on our farm, at home, our dips, our sauerkraut, the brats, the bread. So that's really kind of a neat thing. So all made from scratch, healthy eating, and kind of using what you have to kind of jazz it up and make it something great. So on the side of this, we're gonna be having squash that we still actually have from last season as our side. And we're gonna dive in and enjoy. Thanks for watching.